Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is a very special episode. It's another episode in my thrift stores makeover series. I feel like it's been a really long time since my last one. I think maybe over a year. As you can see here, I have these two like ceramic pieces. They didn't come to me like this originally as a set, but when they were given to me, they were, I thought they were like would fit like a set. The top kind of feels like it could kind of work as a lid, although I think it's just a magnet. Um, but my plan is to like sculpt something with clay to go inside of it. If you were here with me last week during my sketch with me episode, you would have seen the digital sketch that I did. As you can see, this magnet that's on the lid, I'm hoping to add a magnet on the inside of the sculpture. Originally, my plan was to have it be removable, but even if it's not removable, I hope the magnet would help it stick. So my plan was to use this air dry clay that I had from a really old kit, but as you can see, even though these were all sealed and I hadn't used them, they dried out. But I still use them to like fill in the inside of the little cube pot thing. I don't really know what this is from, if it's like something important or anything like that. It was just given to me. My mom got it, I believe at like some type of yard sale or something. And she just gave it to me and told me, hey, maybe you could paint this for a video or something. And here I am after I think many months finally doing something with it. But I quickly ran into another problem with my actual air dry clay that I actually bought that wasn't from a kit. I've had this for a really long time, to be fair, and I've never really used it, but as you can see, it is very dry and hard and crumbly. And I did my best to revive it with water. I had like a cup of water that I was basically pouring water onto these pieces of clay and trying to massage it and like just work the clay to be something. I honestly spent hours on this. It was hurting my hands, but eventually I managed to get a type of ball head shape that I could put on top of this little cube, on top of like the bed that I basically made with the other air dry clay. And I did put in the little magnet into the head where like the top part would sit. And at first I was keeping it removable, but later that ends up changing. And I just struggled with the clay. I spent hours working the clay as much as I could, and I tried filling in the body of the actual cup and kind of connected it to the head. And then I made paws and the ears, which as you can see is horribly like bumpy, and there's so many holes, and it honestly just looks like a horrible mess. But with the dried out clay that I had, this was the best I could do. And also, I'm not a sculptor. This is honestly my first time trying to sculpt something like this. And I didn't go out and buy more clay, which is honestly probably what I should have done. I think maybe if I had good fresh clay, I could have done something easier. But I am taking a tip that I learned from watching Mariah Elizabeth here on YouTube, and I'm using puffy paint to try to like fill in all the gaps and the cracks and those holes, and trying to just smooth over the ears as much as I can. I guess I haven't said it clearly in this video, but if you're here with me in my last video with my sketch with me, I sketched out this idea to have like a little bunny hiding and peeking his head out of like this little box or trash can or whatever it's going to be. Thus the big lopsided ears. Honestly, I'm sure I could have used glue to fix these ears and fill up the holes, maybe more clay or something else, but I wasn't really trying to go to the store and buy more supplies, so I was using what I had and what I was most comfortable with, which is fabric paint, puffy paint. And so I just went in coat after coat, trying to slowly fill in the holes, fill in the gaps, smooth it out as much as I could. And I also sanded the surface of everything to remove some of like the really clumpy and just like the parts of the clay that would come off, and also prepare this for painting. And I kept smoothing with the puffy paints. It was never going to be perfect, but I knew I could get it better than what it was originally. And at the very least, it was going to hold the ears together and they wouldn't be falling off like they were. But this is where I'm going to leave it for today's video. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to do this project in 2 parts. But next week, we're going to come back to this, and I'm going to be starting with a white base coat and actually painting on this sculpted bunny that I made. Honestly, it's looking pretty messy right now, but for my first time ever sculpting something like this, I'm really happy and excited for this and excited for how it's going to turn out. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all will come back next week to see the final painting. Bye!